This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not provide medical or legal advice. Please consult with a qualified professional before making any decisions regarding your health or legal situation.
On the subject of marijuana in particular. That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, to lay the foundation for a nationwide campaign by you to demand by law such compulsory education.
High in the Ozark Mountains, it's the Greene County Podcast with Mike and Mason.
Got a great show today. Austin and AJ from Treehouse Lounge are here to talk about the first cannabis lounge here in the Ozarks. And we're discussing some of our favorite dispensaries in the area. Let's get to it. All right, we're back in it. We're back at it.
We are back.
Greene County in session. Today we're going to kind of give you an overall look at some of your options when it comes to the greater Springfield, Missouri area as far as dispensaries, what that looks like, if you've been scared about going in because, you know, of course, there are the hang-ups with this being an illegal drug a couple of years ago up until recently. Mm-hmm. I get it. You know, you might feel like you're back in your college days or you're calling your plug and you have to go sneak in and meet him in the back of an apartment complex, or maybe they leave
a guy on the corner.
Maybe they leave it in a McDonald's bag behind your house if you're living with your parents. Whatever that looks like for you, we're not going to get into the black market stories because this is legal now, so we don't have to talk about it.
We are going to talk about that a little bit and why dispensaries are the better choice.
Well, yeah, because you know exactly. Well, we can start there. You know exactly what you're getting. That was something that I had been a proponent of for a long time because my mom lived in Colorado when they went medical first and then recreational. So I got to experience it way, way, way before it came here. Mm-hmm. And that was my first thing that I said to everyone. I said, you know, when you're dealing the black market, you're at the will and trust of whoever you're getting the product from. So if you, for example, tell me, oh, this is a indica and it's blah, 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 strain, whatever, I have nothing to go by other than what you're telling me because chances are you didn't take your product to get it tested.
Oh, definitely
and
not.
That's the biggest thing is like they are testing this stuff. It's actually kind of funny how much testing they make them do for this stuff. So you know exactly what you're getting. Right out of the gate, that's the first thing. You're paying for that. You're paying for that knowledge. You're paying for the understanding that this is what you're actually getting.
It's clean and safe.
It's safe. It was grown in a safe place. It doesn't have mold.
Yeah, no moldy weed for you anymore.
That's another big thing that people don't realize is that through the drying and curing process of harvesting marijuana, there is a potential of getting mold in your product. As a cultivator, I've had to throw away half a pound of weed before because I got mold in it.
God, that just hurts my heart.
Awful day.
But you know what? A non-reputable black market person might just sell it to you because they don't care.
And again, they might not know. They
also
may have
true.
They didn't grow it. They just got it. And so basically a dispensary is your safest option if you are wanting to use marijuana, whether it's smoking, vaping, or eating it, or putting it on your skin. Start with dispensaries.
Yeah. I know people, like, when it first started, there were some people on the fence because they were used to the old way of doing things and skirting the law, and it was cheaper for a little bit, honestly. But not anymore. You can't, there's really no reason to not go to a dispensary anymore.
I mean,
the prices have dropped dramatically since they first started. Oh, yeah. The options, the variety is insane. You're not going to get that from Joe Schmo down the street.
No, there's no way. It's one and done. This is what I got, and it is what it is.
And you know, when they say this is Pineapple Express, they know it is. It's a lineage. It's not just some dude randomly naming stuff and giving it away and trying to sell it based off the name.
Basically, and again, the black market's always going to exist. It is what it is until we get to a point where the prices are so inexpensive, i.e. California, that there is no black market. But in that case, more specifically with California, the black market is kind of seeped into the non-black market where they're having issues now with a bunch of labs, growers that might not be on the up and up too. So there is kind of a balance to this whole thing. And out there, I mean, it's probably half, if not more, like off than what you get here, but it just takes time. And that's the way the market is and the free market works. And so bottom line is that you have the choice, obviously, to go into a dispensary or keep going to your plug. if you want to know what you're getting and you want to make sure that it's safe and it is what it is, unless you're growing it yourself, go to a dispensary.
Yeah, be on the up and up. They changed the law. There's a whole lot of regulations to protect the buyer now, the consumer. So do yourself a favor and stop by a dispensary.
And when you do stop by a dispensary, make sure and sign up for their club, whatever that is, a texting club, email.
We'll get to that. Let's talk about.
You want to go through the list?
Yeah,
first?
Let's go through the list. What are the dispensaries in town? Because there are honestly quite a few.
You have a lot of choices in this area. Bloom, Green Light, Farmer's Wife. Before we go into where our favorites are, where we go, Old Route 66, they were one of the first. Good Day Farm has got several locations, 3 specifically in Springfield.
So Bloom is on North Glenstone.
Green Light
is downtown on National. It's real easy to get to. Farmer's Wife is on East Chestnut Expressway. It's honestly right down the road from the radio station, so that makes it pretty cool. They've got a nice variety of value brand stuff. I don't know if you've checked out their menu recently, but they've got a lot of Farmer's Wife.
Yeah, they're getting on, but they just got bought out too, so they might be flipping that name. But that's because there's a lot of changing hands.
There's constantly changing.
Good Old Route 66, I-44, North Glenstone. Good Day Farm. They've got a south location on Glenstone, east on say South Campbell. That's about to move to Sunshine, and they also have their West Sunshine location. DJ Dabfather, shout out to you.
Going back to Old Route 66 before we were just blowing through these, I want to give a little information. Route 66, I think, might be one of the only places in town that delivers.
They do. There are some that do it. I think have the capability, but Route 66 really is probably the ones that's the leader in the delivery aspect.
Good Day Farms. I was going to say Good Day Farms used to be Shango, right?
Yeah, and then they were one was Shango, one was Ozark Botanicals.
Okay, yeah.
Good Day Farm bought those and then combined them into one. Flora Farms is another one on the north side in Glenstone, and then Hippos, which is on the south side, kind of by the Battlefield Mall.
And then Revival 98, a lot of people don't know, on West Republic. That's also a pretty good option in town if you're on the south side.
Kind of like another boutique style one, from what I'm gathering. I haven't been into that one.
I've been a couple times. It's all right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a pretty decent selection. Pricing's about the same as a lot of normal places.
Let's get into that first. Personal experiences, or do you want to go into how these work first?
So, let's talk about the process, because I know there's a lot of people out there that might still feel a little weird walking into a dispensary. Honestly, the first time I did, I felt a little off in town. I was like, this is okay, right? This is legal. I'm not gonna be put on a list, and then as I walk out, the cops are gonna come and the feds are gonna get me. No, that doesn't happen. It's all on the up and up. It's real easy. Every one of these places wants to help you make your best weed decision.
Because again, it's a business, and like we do here or any other place that I've worked, if you mess with people, they're not going to come back. So you want to give them a good experience. The way I always described it before it became legal here, like when I went to Colorado the first time, I was like, you ever been to a check cashing place? And everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's literally how it goes. Like, they got the big, thick door. You got to get checked in, and then you go to the teller, because they deal in a lot of money, and I get it. That
security is important.
In the case of dispensaries, they deal in a lot of money and products, so that's also a pretty big deal for them. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. You go in, it's always usually nice, clean, friendly staff, check you in, and then you get to go in, and then you get your own kind of assigned bud tender that's going to then go through the whole thing. What are you going through? What do you like? What have you used? And then they start asking probing questions, so then they can kind of drill down to what it exactly is that you need. Yeah. Whether it's like us, where you're seasoned and you know exactly what you want, you probably already put the order in online, you're just going to pick it up. Price is going to be key. And then obviously variety and what you can get your hands on to, a mixture of that. But price is key for us, at least at this point,
right.
I think.
So the only thing you need to go to the dispensary, one, you need to be 21 or older, because that's the law, and you need your ID. That's literally it. Maybe you got a medical card. We can talk about that too, because there's a whole lot of benefits going with that. But before we do that, loyalty programs. You want to save some money?
So, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, and Mason and I talk about this a lot.
All the time. We shop them loyalty programs
hey,
like
man,
crazy.
I am a huge fan of loyalty programs. I actually have a sweeper that runs on the station that says that because I think it's a great, especially if it's a place that I go to a lot. There are some places that have like really dumb loyalty programs outside of dispensaries that are just so good. It's like, why would you not do this?
Mm-hmm.
But with dispensaries, I mean, obviously they're always running specials.
Yeah. Normally they do have daily specials like every week. It's like Munchie Mondays, Wax Wednesdays, stuff like that.
Yeah. That either bring it down a percentage. Obviously, as either a senior or student or even low income, you can get discounts straight out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk to the dispenser, check them out online. But yeah, your first step, especially if you have a good experience, is to definitely sign up for that loyalty program because some of them actually just give you bonus dollars to go back.
Oh, I know. I'm in like every single loyalty program. I honestly, Greenlight, day one, I was a customer and they threw me in the Founders Club.
So
I got it. Yeah, I haven't gotten too much from it, but I did get a really nice customized metal grinding card. It looked like a credit card, but it has like a cheese grater for weed.
Have you taken that thing through a metal detector yet?
No, it's all metal. I'm not going to do that.
I have one in my wallet. Never ever say a word to me. Actually,
Are you serious?
No, they never say a word. The only thing I ever get popped for is I have a buddy of mine's a knife maker, and when he first started making knives, he was messing around with files, and he filed down this it's like a really rudimentary. I use it as a letter opener, but it fits on my keys, and it almost always get pulled. They pull and I'm like, what are they? And then they pull my keys out, and they look at it, and they're like, what is this? Because it looks, but it's not. It's not sharp. It's dull as hell. It's a
letter opener.
But anyway, that's way off topic. Bloom, I think, has really, that's the thing. Like, Bloom has really good deals. Greenland has good deals. Farmer's Wife, Old Route 66 has good deals.
Mm-hmm.
Good Day Farm they all have good deals.
And
they're all competitive.
Around, yeah, they're definitely competitive. Holidays are an amazing time to buy.
420, 710, obviously.
710 is oil day, if you didn't know.
Yeah, which is 710 is oil.
710 backwards, upside down, whatever. Flip it, reverse it. Oil day.
Which is your concentrate specials. I actually got a really good flight from Good Day Farm last year around Oil Day that blew my mind. Figuratively speaking, that is. But yeah, they all are competitive. So really, the way to stay on top of it is to sign up for those programs. And I'm one of the first that'll tell you I hate getting emails in my box, but these things, if they benefit you, they do, and they all are benefits. There's always a benefit there.
You know what I would love if we could set up a way that we could sign people up for all the loyalty programs at once. I don't know if that's possible. You know what? Let's look into it. We'll see if we can.
You're the tech savvy guy.
Oh, man. Okay. I'll look into it.
Put that on your list of things to do. But yeah, it again, straight out of the gate, I have not had a bad experience at a dispensary in this town at all. And I've been to them all. The staff's always friendly. They're knowledgeable. They're helpful. That's really another big sell too, is the dispensary service, and I've gotten great service at all of them. So again, they're going to be competitive price. Shop around. You have that benefit as a consumer in the free market. Shop around and price compare and see what kind of service you get. But service you're going to get is great. Yeah. Now, we mentioned something earlier when we were talking about what to expect when you do go into a dispensary. Yes, you will need your ID, but should you be a medical card holder?
You don't have to be, first off.
You don't.
It's open to anyone over 21 with a legal ID, but there are a lot of benefits when it comes to a medical card. If you can qualify for one, first and foremost, taxes.
Yeah.
It's a different taxation rate.
And yeah, you get a tax break, so it's going to be a little cheaper out of the gate. Now, yes, you will have to pay for your visit, which is like usually $25.
And then
the card cost went from a very expensive yearly cost to now it's every 3 years, and it has gone down astronomically to what that actually costs year to year from what it was from the get-go. If you want to cultivate, that's also into the medical card process, but that's not that much more money, and it's another 3 years, and we'll have a whole probably series of episodes about cultivation because we both know a lot about that. But the benefit is really the tax break. And sometimes they have specials for medical card users. You also usually get to jump the line if you are a medical card guy. So if you walk into a waiting room, there's 20 people in there. Usually they're all rec users. The medical guy gets to go first. There are a lot of places that do drive-through, open like area windows where Bloom, for example.
Bloom just opened theirs to recreational and medical now because they used to be just medical.
Just medical, but there's a pickup window where it's specifically medical only. I think it's like 9 to 10 in the morning where you can go through and you have to have an order online to do it. So there are benefits. If you don't want to go through the process, if you're not a regular user, chances are you're probably not going to need it. I mean, if you're kind of like a weekend warrior, like I'm going to go pick up like pre-roll for the weekend and that's it, it makes sense to just go the rec avenue. But if you are a daily and you are going to try and shop around and you are going to try and use this stuff, might as well get it. I mean, why not?
If you need it for medical purposes, grab that card because it is only a benefit to you.
It's kind of like when I got my Costco membership, I got the bottom base line and they're like, are you sure you get 3% back? And I was like, I'm never going to. Within like 4 months, someone goes, hey, we can prorate this. Look how much money you would have got back. And I was like, okay, but it's the same kind of thing. It's at the surface level, you might not see it, but if you are going to spend money, it's definitely going to benefit you.
You're definitely going to want to hit up multiple dispensaries because they all have different brands, different products. For instance, you might find something brand new on the shelf every week. When I was going to Old Route 66 back in the day, they were one of the first dispensaries in town to offer those 2-gram vape sticks. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. They had those Bison vape sticks. Amazing deal. I think they're going for like $100, $120 now, and it was like $80 when they first came out.
The Rove Diamond ones.
Oh, the Rove Diamonds.
Green Light, they had those, and those were fire as hell. And another thing we didn't mention is if you're a fan of Reddit, there are a couple subreddits like I would say probably the most influential, or at least the one I check, is Missouri Medical, because they have a pretty good idea about new strains that are coming out from certain growers, new shops that have got new stuff, new shops that are opening, sales, just another avenue to kind of keep on top of it, and a good resource to have too, in addition. But we have a really good source of information.
Yeah, you know what else is a great resource?
And it's our website, greencountypodcast.com.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff up there. Personal stories. We talk about the different types of strains, terpenes in it. Also, recipes. Yeah. Did you know you can cook?
You can cook with it. If you want to know how to break it down, activate the THC from your product to then convert it to whether it's butter, oil, candies. There's so many different things. Tinctures, the Green Dragon. I mean, literally 1,000 things that you can do inside of that plant that we've kind of gone over, and we can get into more specifically down the road. But again, the resource that you need to start with if you are hearing this for the first time and you want to know more, greencountypodcast.com.
And I'm going to let you know from personal experience, making extracts, cooking some stuff with whatever you make from those extracts, it's honestly a lot of work. So, it's awesome because you can customize it. You can make whatever you want, but it's so much easier to just go to a dispensary nowadays. They have literally everything. Chocolate, candy. I saw Rice Krispie treats, some
potato chips.
Lemonade. Drinks. Those drinks are honestly really good.
So I would say that, like, you are right, because as a cultivator, I can and I do convert to either bubble hash or oil to cook with. Because I have so much trim and stuff left over that I don't want to waste it. So that's what I do with it. But when it comes to like hard concentrates, wax, butter, shatter, whatever that looks like, carts like you mentioned, I always go to the dispensary for, because that process is very, very time consuming. And in some cases, you need to have a lot of expensive high-end equipment to do that stuff. Some of that processes can be a little bit dangerous. So, you're dealing with, butane or CO2 in high amounts. So we're not getting into the science of that stuff. But again, there are companies and labs that specifically create this stuff for the dispensaries. So you might as well just let them do it.
Yeah, and they do a real good job.
They do a really good job, and it's consistent. So,
and trust me, I've made my own vape carts before. It is a pain, dude.
Yeah, and we don't have a lab to do that. So
No.
and the equipment to do it. It's one thing to take off some trim, cook it off, turn it into oil, make some brownies with it, or whatever. That's not that hard.
Yeah.
Converting THC from plant to a vape cart or shatter can get a little tricky. And if you don't know what you're doing, you could screw up big time.
CO2 distillate for like vapes and stuff, the machine to do that is freaking insane. It's like $13,000, $30,000.
Just a press
insane.
to convert to oil.
$100.
Like, well, no, you can get one for $1,200 to $2,000.
Well,
yeah. I mean, you can go the old curler way with parchment paper, but
that's not worth it.
No, and again, it's trial and error. You can figure this stuff out yourself. If you were like, no, they don't know what they're talking about, try it. And if you can figure out a way that's cheaper, please let us know. greencountypodcast.com what your secret is.
Yeah.
Because we're still trying to figure that one out, but up until now, I don't think there really is one unless you've got thousands of dollars and a lot of space to dedicate to converting.
Yeah, I think honestly, your best bet is just to go to the dispensaries. If you haven't checked them out yet, go. They're going to invite you with open arms and help us fight the stigma against.
Last but not least, and
weed.
this is the last thing I want to mention, is that Vegas now is pretty close to being the first place with recreational to have like an open air. You can lounge, not just like one of the secret ones, but like an actual place where you can go purchase and hang out, because marijuana is a social thing. It really is. It's kind of like drinking. Would you rather just sit at home and drink by yourself? Not a lot of people want to do that.
That's when it becomes like a problem.
That's when it's a problem. Mike, the intern, and Mason in the studio this morning with
What's
Anthony
up?
and AJ, Treehouse Lounge. This is the Green County Podcast, and we're here to talk with the only guys in Southwest Missouri to offer a location where you can publicly consume marijuana.
In a private location.
In a private location.
Perfectly.
And first off, let's explain that. The cannabis lounge that you guys have is called the Treehouse Lounge, and you have to be a member.
That's right. Yep. And so we do memberships on a yearly or daily basis, really, are the two that we mainly concentrate on. But $15 a day, you get to come in, you're a member with us. That makes it legal for you to smoke here with us. And then when you come in, you can bring your own product. We actually have product to give away to you guys as well if you don't bring anything. And then we also provide all the best smoking equipment for you guys to use when you come in as well. So we have tons of different pieces, stuff that you wouldn't usually be able to afford at your house or want to fork out the money for, and you can come in and try the product the best way possible also, which is kind of nice.
And you don't have to clean it yourself.
Yeah. So what is your favorite piece that you have?
I'd say that gravity bong's pretty cool. We have a gravity bong that's pink, and it's got these pineapples that flip upside down as you turn it. The water will kind of feed it to you through a hose.
Okay.
And it'll knock your socks off too, but it's cool looking.
My favorite's probably the mini Carta rig that we have. Isn't that what it's called? The Puffco,
dabber.
exactly.
Yeah.
The handheld dabber. It makes it really easy for people. No torches, no nothing involved. And we also have those 2 cups that everyone seems to love too.
Those blow everybody away. I think they're called Zenkos, or Zebcos or Zenkos. I always get mixed up with that old company around here. But it's like a vape cart bong, and you hold down the little button.
Oh.
It fills a cup with like this mist. You pick the cup up and kind of tip it back and sip it.
Wow.
Huh.
It's like you're drinking. Yeah.
I want to try that
It's
so
like you're
bad.
drinking it. It hits hard. It's really hard.
Some of the things that, in addition to equipment, you guys actually allow pressing.
Absolutely.
At the location, which
we have
is
2
huge.
presses in there, so you can come in and bring your own product and press it. We provide the papers and the bags, and we actually have 2 presses where you can press up to an ounce at a time, even with
Wow. That's awesome and huge. And if you didn't know, those presses were thousands of dollars. So they're not cheap. And that right there, in my opinion, should be definitely worth the $15 price of admission.
Sure.
So you can bring that in to use it to press it all day long.
Too, like going from bud to a fresh dab to take it over to the e-nail rig and just hit it real quick.
Yeah.
Farm to table.
Exactly
Actually, that's exactly
Absolutely
what it is. So you do have different tiered level memberships, correct?
That's right. Yep, we do an annual membership for $420 a year. That one not only comes with your entry fee, but it also gets you half off to any events we have. So, say like our paint nights once a month are $45 $25, you would get it for $22.50 just for being an annual member with us. Cool. Plus entry any other day that we're open. We also do free events for those guys. Yoga is usually free for those guys. So we do a few events that are free for our annual members, and then daily memberships are $15. That just gets you access to the lounge. You can use anything that we have, the Switch, the board games, pool table, anything that you guys want to use. NBA Jam machine we got there too. And that just gets you in and able to use product with us or whatever you want to do while you're there. So
you guys it's been about not a full year yet.
3 months.
Yeah,
actually.
I was like pretty. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But in this time, what have you seen? What kind of trends? Like, what are the things that you like that you're seeing?
Yeah, are you saying since we've been open?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's such a relatively new concept. It's something that I think we need. Like I said,
Sure.
it's like a bar setting, almost a social thing. So, are you seeing that?
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about before. We've almost got this like an old reference, but we've got this Cheers scenario set. Everybody knows each other when they come in. Our annual members have kind of gotten to rely on each other for hugs and things when they need them. It's really cool. There's some guys that are there from the time the doors open to the time they close, and they're just there conducting their life and business and enjoying each other instead of being alone at home and smoking in the garage.
It's a great thing. It's a really, really great space to allow that, really.
It is. And the events you guys have sound amazing. What's some upcoming events?
So tonight we have our putt paint and pass. It's we're painting one of those fluffy cows. What are they called?
Highland cows or something.
Oh, the hairy ones. Yeah. The hairy ones for the layman.
That's right.
For
everybody gets a pre-roll. Everyone will have like an edible bar and things. Coming up, we've got Mario Kart tournament on Tuesday. On Saturday, actually, we'll have our Funk the Cold event because we're mad that we had to close down last weekend for it being so cold. So we'll have a DJ and some infused hot chocolate and things like that.
Awesome.
The next week we've got the Bricks and Blunts coming up where you can come in and smoke and bring your own Legos and kind of set up and enjoy that. I can't remember what else.
Elevated Yoga on Saturday, which has been a big event. Those sell out. That one might be sold out already, but we also have one coming up on February 3rd. But we do a infused tea, a recovery tea, and then we have a big yoga session out there, which has been a huge hit so far. That's one of our biggest events, so people love to do the yoga. So it's awesome. We do, what else do we got out there coming up? Burn. We've got a burn and burn night where we're doing the wood burning. And
oh,
so
cool.
Oh, yeah, the art. Yeah, that's cool.
Art thing. So we try to stay pretty creative out there and make it somewhere where you can kind of just let off some of that creativity without and not get in your own head once you have partaken or whatever as well.
Yeah. And you guys got knowledgeable staff on hand,
Absolutely.
just in case, because we've all been down that road before.
Yes.
We've got CBD oil there for you to kind of get you back to a level playing ground so you can get back to your day.
Yeah, first time you ever do a dab, you're definitely going to need that help because it's like, oh my God, what the hell did I just do? So it sounds like you guys have just hit the ground running. If people want more information on what you're doing, your week-to-week events, your monthly events, all that stuff, how to get involved, how to get there, where do they go?
The best place would probably be social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can call us too. Just give us a ring. We're always available to you guys. But all of our events are on there, and you can DM us and kind of find out what's going on.
All
awesome.
Right.
Stop by Treehouse Lounge in between Springfield and Nixa, just off of Campbell, Massey Boulevard, 160 or 60. I don't know. It's got like 50 different names.
The old Dirty James. Just look for the old Dirty James River right there by the bridge. That's exactly where it is. Guys, thank you so much for coming in, and look forward to having you again down the road in another podcast.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
So we'll see how that works out for them, but ultimately I would like to see that kind of start to take some fruition, because if we can have hookah bars and stuff like that, and you can smoke cigars in a tobacco place, like you should be able to do this responsibly
or like
somewhere
some
else.
Events, like instead of hot yoga, maybe pot yoga.
That would be a good idea. I don't know though. I'm not the biggest get stoned and work out type of person.
Honestly, that's the only reason I would work out.
I don't want to do that. It's like the last thing I want to do.
Like, you want me to exercise? Like, why am I running? Is there a bear chasing me?
I'm the type of guy that likes to get it all done before.
Oh,
I don't.
Do you do one of those things where you take an edible and you run the clock and be like, I'm gonna try to do all my chores before this kicks in?
No, because it's just self-defeating, and I think your focus is lost. It depends. It also depends on the strain. Sometimes they're super focused. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to touch this. But really, when it comes to physical exertion, I'm not trying to get stoned before I work out. It's just I work out first, and then as part of the cool down, I partake.
Makes sense.
But these are all personal, and I play in a band with a guy who literally will get stoned before he goes to the gym every single time.
Oh yeah, I know a personal trainer that is all he does.
Every muscle, loves it, and I'm just like, I don't know how you do it, but to each their own, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
So
if you do have one of those events, or you're trying to start something, if you're trying to start a lounge, let us know. Hit us up. We want to know what you're doing. We want to help support you guys.
If you're in the industry and you want to be on this podcast, you can also hit us up, greencountypodcast.com, and we'd love to have you on.
Right. Well, we'll interview you. We want to know about your business. We want to know what you're offering the community.
And your insights from that side of the counter, because I think that's extremely valuable. But as always, intake or partake responsibly. I'm Mike. This is Mason.
And don't forget to hit up greencountypodcast.com.
So that our children are obliged to learn the truth, because it is only through knowledge that we can safely protect them.
This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not provide medical or legal advice.